So in the last class we learned about routing, and we created one controller called blog controller index, and we injected one service post repository, and from post repository we called the method find all. And if you see the result, so all the 200 post is showing in one page. This is not good. This is not good idea to show like this. So we need to show, as per our requirement now, we need to show 10 posts per page, and we need to have like a mechanism to traverse from one page to another page. So every page we will be showing different items, 10 items per page. So for that now, so as far as pagination is concerned, we need page number, a variable to track the page number. So we can actually call that pass that variable int page, and default will be the first page will be 1. If you don't give anything, it will be 1. So what we can do, we can pass that variable value of that variable as a route parameter. So we will, how can we configure a route parameter? In the path we can put one single curly brace, a pair of single curly brace, and inside that square bracket, single it's not a square bracket, single curly brace, and inside that we can give the name of the parameter. So what we can do now, we can simply echo that page number, it is page variable, and exit. Let's check what is happening. So if you, without anything, if you simply load this blog URL, you will get the current page as 1. Okay, so we will check, we will pass some value to this. Suppose we are taking second page, so its current page is 2. So we got the page, we got the variable tracking the page, current page. So next thing is like, we need how many items per page. I'll call it items per page. Okay, so default it is 10. That also we can pass as another variable. I will simply call it items per page as a parameter. You can pass it like this, and if you want to pass, you can pass, otherwise it will be default to 10. So now, right now we are getting post repository find all. We are calling the method find all method. It is a default magic method available in the entity repository class. So what we can do now, we can create one query builder. There is something called, some tool called query builder in our Doctrine ORM. So now we can retrieve the post in a different way. This post repository create query builder, and if you are calling the query builder from the specific entity repository, the referring entity will be that entity, that repository's entity. In our case it is post, and we need to give an alias for that entity. So further we can refer by using that alias instead of referring the entire entity name. So P. Next thing is like, we want to get the 10 result. So for that we need to give one function, we need to call set max result, and then we can simply give items per page, and then finally we have to get the query from the query builder and then execute. Okay, now instead of passing like this, no, post repository find all, no, instead of that, no, we can actually put like this. Okay, now let's check, run this and let's check what is happening. Now you see it is only showing 10 items. So even if you go to the second page also, it will show the same items. So we can check how can we do this. Okay, so for that we need to make sure that we are in the first page, we are taking 0 to 9 items, that is 1 to 9 item, whatever it is, 0 to 9, 1 to 10, 1 to 10 primary key, 1 to 10. In the next page we will be taking 11 to 20. So in that sense now what we can do now, so we need to mark what is the starting record, we need to tell. So we can just simply say it's starting from 11, first result is starting from 11. If you give that now, if you go to the first page itself, so you will get the record, 11th record, like that you will get it. So you're getting it like this. Okay, so next thing is like, so we need to get this value dynamically. How can we get that value? So first result, we will have a value variable called first result, and then first result, and in the case of page equal to 1, page equal to 1, it is 0. We can use a ternary operator, otherwise it will be page into items per page, page into items per page. So it will be like that. So let's simply echo first result, make sure that we are getting the actual value. So in the current first page it will be 0, in the second page it will be 20. That means 0 to 19 is 20 records it will fetch. Okay, so it is an index of an array, so it is not starting from the primary key, it will be starting from 0th position of that array. So this first result we can pass it here, and then in the second page actually you see that you are getting the result category 1 and 3. In order to find it properly, what we can do, this title, we can put it inside, maybe before this, we can simply print ID, so that we will understand whether it is coming or not properly. So now see, in the first page it is starting from 401 to 410, and in the second page it is getting 420. See, it is getting 421 to 422, 423, 424. Let's check what is in the first page. Okay, so here one problem is, sir, if you calculate that thing this way, you will be getting 10, and in the 4 it will go double. So what you have to do, you have to minus, and then you have to do minus items per page, then you will get it actual result. So if you go to 2, see, you are getting it 11 to 20. If you go to 3, you will get 21 to 30. If you go to 4, you will get 31 to 40, like that. So now, okay, now we will take the case of 1, page into page into items per page 10, 10 minus 10 0. So we don't need this condition itself. First result will be page into items per page minus items per page. This is the formula for the first result. Now if you go to first page, we will be getting 401 to 410. Okay, so you got this now. So now we need to, right now we are going through this URL, but we need to have a mechanism to go through the different pages. For that we need, so basically we need a ULLI. We can use that ULLI. Before going to use that ULLI, we need to know what is my page, current page. I'll call it current page. I'll pass the page variable current page and page. Remember that after each element of array you should be having a comma, you should be adding a comma, and then you need to know from the template, you need to know items per page. Items per page, again we should be passing items per page. Okay, now in our template, after this N4, we can actually, I already created it, we can actually put a ULLI with the help of a for loop. Here this for loop I have already added if number of pages is greater than 1. Okay, I'm just commenting out this thing, I'm not explaining that. So let's check page in from first page to number of pages. That means if you are iterating an array, the normal for loop will be for post in post. So if you are iterating actually a sequence, iterating a sequence, for that let's check the documentation, how we can iterate that. tick.symfony.com, I'll tell you. So you wanted to iterate from a numeric value. Okay, you can go to the tags, for tag, they have already given an example. So this is a normal for loop. Suppose you wanted to iterate from 0 to 10 now, you will give for I in 0 to 10. This is equivalent to our normal for I is equal to 0, I less than n, that one. So in Twig we will be writing it. Okay, in our case for page is in 1 dot dot number of pages, and then you are doing what you are doing now, you are actually putting an LI. Inside that LI you are putting a generating a URL of the blog by passing the page value, and here you are putting the as a ahref label, you are putting page. Now let's check how it is displaying. So it is here. Okay, there are some pages, number of pages does not exist. Okay, we need to know one more variable, we need number of pages. Okay, how many pages we have, how do we get that? Number of pages, we need to get how many pages is there. For that we need to know how many records are there. So either you can use count of post divided by items per page. This is the number of pages. Okay, now let's check. So this is giving only, okay, now if I am doing that like this now, count of posts will be only the current 10 items, so this is wrong. So for that, how can we get the total record count? So here we need to get the total record counts. So what we can do, again we can call post repository count. One method is there, and inside we need to pass some criteria or empty criteria. So an empty array, and if you do that, now we are getting, see, we are getting all of these things, all the page numbers till 20. Now if I go to page 20, I am getting the last result. After that, if you go to page 21, no, there is nothing. Okay, here one thing, here it is, even though if we don't have any value, no, we are getting this pagination. We don't need that. For that, what we can do, we can go to index. We can actually do here, if number of pages is if number of, not number of pages, we need to pass the total item, total records, total posts. How many posts are there? We need to pass, I am forgetting this comma, we need to pass the total item. That one you can call it like this, post repository count. Okay, now if you go here, you can give total items greater than 0 means we will have the page, and again if the total item is greater than 10 means we will have the pages, because we don't want the page if the items are less than 10, I mean less than or equal to 10. So the total items variable, some spelling mistake is there, total post, it's not total items, I gave total posts. So I can give this total post here and run. Okay, okay, and okay, we can give that, and in this case no, it will not be working. So actually we are checking, we are beyond the page limit, we are passing beyond the page limit. Now if you go to blog, it will be like this. Now let's do some more thing to make it work. So as per our requirement, now we don't need to display all the post, only the post which has been published only we should do that. So we will learn one more new thing, how can we add a var condition. So var, you'll simply call the var and you need to say the predicate inside the var. Predicate means it is a condition. So what we have to do, alias and then is published equal to, and the predicate condition value, so equal to published. So we are actually passing the parameter. We need to pass the parameter. The parameter name is key is published, and then value is true. So this method, this way of creating the query is called prepared statement. We are actually preparing the statement, but we are not binding the value. So the values needs to be binded whenever we are executing the query. Till then value will not be binded. So this is the one way of execution. So this is the best way, recommended way. You can ask, why can't we give here itself? If you do that now, it will be having problems and performance impact if you are not using the prepared statement approach. I will come to that thing later. So now let us check. Okay, now let us check. Okay, we don't have any post like that approved, and the same condition now, p dot is approved, we can give here 2, so that we can make sure that we are getting the correct count here. And then in the third thing also, so that we will get the proper number of pages. So now you see there is no data, so no page count, I mean pagination things. Post is not there. So now let's go, and now we will do in the data fixtures, we'll make some change, and we will do one thing. Okay, is published false only we are giving now. And if j mode 2, if j mode 2 means true, else false. So I'm just simply giving some condition. Actually I can simply do like this, j mode 2. So that means the j key is modulus 2 is means if it is true it will become true, otherwise it will become false. So what is the benefit of this now? Every even number will become true and every odd number will become false. Now I am again purging this database, loading the fixtures once again. Okay, PHP bin console doctrine fixtures load command, and it will remember that it will ask you whether you wanted to continue that your database will be completely purged. So I am passing this yes, and then let's check is there any change. You see that 10 items, that is every even post, every even indexed post is like approved. Okay, now you see 10 items only is there. So now we can see, if you go to the, okay, here you can see that okay, first one is true, and this is like this number is actually odd number only, but actually it is even only according to our formula. And then 2, 3, because why it is becoming odd number, no, we are starting it from 0, 1 like that, that is why. Okay, 5, 6, so it is changing, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so suppose right now I am in the 5th page, so I don't want to click once again. How can I avoid that? So that it should not be clickable, the current page should not be clickable. How can I avoid that? For that I can use some tick conditions. What I can do here, I am doing this thing now, let's make it in the 2 lines for more visibility. Here I am adding an ahref here, anchor tag. So here I can put it this inside one condition. If page equal to current page else and if, I can do this way. Okay, and inside this what I can do now, I can simply print the current page. Now if you look at, so there is no, it is not clickable. Now let's go to 7th page, 7 is not clickable. Let's go to first page, first is not clickable. So that if the page, for the specific page, that page is not clickable, because we don't want to reload that page, because we are already in that page, and also it is highlighting that you are at that page. And if you wanted to give some style to this, no, we can just give some color change to make sure that, or text style, you can text decoration style, we can give solid, so that we will come to know it is actually. So if it is, and even you can give, it's not text decoration style, let's give font size, font style, font size, font stretch, text decoration. Or we can give it a separate color. For now I'm giving it to red to make sure that it is highlighted. Sorry, we shouldn't be giving here. So actually we need to give here span. No, there is no bootstrap and all in this. This is very basic. Okay, now you see this is in the red color, and suppose you want some more style, no? Font size, it is large. We can give large here, so that we can come to know. So you see it is highlighted. So this is the current page. If you go to 6th page, it is highlighted. Okay, so this way today I explained you how we can create a pagination. Through that we learned how we can pass the parameters, route parameters, and how we can bind that parameters to a specific value, I mean specific property arguments of the function, function in the sense that action, and how we can give the default arguments to this is and all PHP. So and then how you can create a custom query. So custom query, within the custom query, by using the create query builder, and then how you can add some work condition, how you can customize the query, and how you can execute that thing, and how you can pass as many as variables to the template, how you can use those variables in the template within the for loop. I explained you a normal for each alternative in Twig, and for loop, normal for loop alternative, that is for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, such kind of for loop, how you can write it in Twig. So for that you will be, it is a sequence, number sequence for loop. You will be starting with the starting number, and you will be giving dot dot and your variable, that means your in your count basically. And how you can generate a route, generate a URL from a route name, and how you can pass the route parameters to that, and how you can write a if else loop condition inside the Twig. These and all I taught you today. So I think this is not only the thing, we have a lot more steps in Twig, how you can learn all of these things. No, you can go to twig.symfony.com and take 3x version. Okay, if you go to this twig.symfony.com, you can click on learn more. By default it is the third version. You can see a lot of tags. So tags means it's built-in Twig tag, and there is a lot of built-in filters, and then there are some functions and related to testing, test in the sense of condition testing, and operators and functions. And if you wanted to use some furthermore, no, Symfony provides Twig bridge, and Symfony, if you are using Symfony Twig bridge, you will get some more functions. Okay, some more functions, filters, and all these things. Today we learned about this thing, and next session we will actually create many Twig layouts and Twig blocks and all these things in detail. We will learn about Twig, and then how can we use the Twig inheritance and all. In the next session we will learn. Okay, thank you. I'm ending this session for today.